Of how we diagram a trace of running a method. So up till now we've had two pieces of paper, right? We've had the bench variables and the objects. But from this point forward, what we're going to do is we're going to start with a piece of paper for bench variables and start with a piece of paper for objects every time. But then every time you run a new method, it's going to get its own piece of paper for local variables. And every time you complete that method, that piece of paper gets destroyed. So you run the method a second time, it gets a whole new piece of paper. Finish the method, you destroy it, run it a third time, new piece of paper, and so on. Okay, so suppose that you have a new ticket machine that's called TM1, and it's set up with a price of 25 cents. So if you look, price is 25 cents. Balance is 0, that's how much is in the machine, and total is 0, that's how much money the system has made. Over time, people put a bunch of money in, so now the total is $6.25 and the balance is $1.60. Price is still the same. So right now there's $1.60 somebody's put into the machine. And let's suppose we run the refund balance method. If we run the refund balance method, that's supposed to give this $1.60 back to the user. Okay, so it's going to make this turn balance into 0 and return 160 back to the user. Okay, here's the code for refund balance, and notice that we've got a local variable in here. Okay, this amount to refund, it's a local variable. How do I know it's a local variable? Well, first off, it doesn't have public or private in front of it, and secondly, it has been declared inside of a method. Okay, so whenever you run a new method, we're running refund balance method on the object TM1, right? First, make a new piece of scrap paper for it. So there you go. Next, you want to make a box called this with an arrow to the object before the dot. So in this case, we've got TM1 dot refund balance. So we're going to make a new box called this that has an arrow that points to the same thing that TM1 points to. And we're going to put that in our new piece of paper, right? So TM1 was the thing before the dot. So there we go. We've got this, and it points to the same thing that TM1 points to. Okay? All right. Now we're going to start running this method. That was the setup. Now we're going to run this method. Now this is the setup actually for a method that doesn't have any parameters. We'll talk about one with parameters later. Okay. So notice, by the way, that whenever we make a new local variable, it's going to go on the new piece of paper. So first we've got this int amount to refund line. That's a declaration of a new variable. It's a local variable, right? Because it's declared in the method. So we need to put it onto the paper. There you go. I just wrote amount to ref here because I couldn't fit it on the thing. Really, it should say amount to refund. Okay, next line of code. This is amount to refund gets balance. Of course, we always evaluate the right-hand side and then put the answer in the left. So we're going to look first on my piece of paper called refund balance and see if I can find something called balance. All right, and if I can't, then what I'm going to do is say I'm going to follow the arrow from this. And I'm going to look at the object that that arrow points at, and I'm going to say, do I have a variable called balance there? And sure enough, I do. So I'm going to use that value, 160, for the right-hand side of this equation. Now I need to put that 160 into amount to refund. Again, we look inside of refund balance and we say, do we have any variables called amount to refund? Yeah, we do. So we got to copy the number in this box into this box. There we go. Okay, next. Balance gets 0. Again, we're going to look in here. Sorry, evaluate the right-hand side, put it in the left. So we look at the right-hand side, that's easy. That's 0. It's just a number. We're going to put it in the left-hand side. We look in here, but it's not in here. So we follow the arrow. We say, oh yeah, look, there's balance. Okay. So now we're going to put into this box 0. Okay. Finally, it says return amount to refund. We're going to evaluate the thing we have to return. Oh, look, it's in this box. We don't have to follow the arrow. It's 160. We got to return 160. So we're going to return it in a bubble. I'll explain what the heck I mean more as we go on, but for now, draw it like this. There's your 160, right? The thing that we were returning. Okay. After you've seen return, the next thing that you do is you crumple up the piece of paper. We're done. We just did a return. So we're going to crumple up the piece of paper that we made. Crumple. And now we're done running the method. We're back up to wherever we, we're back up to wherever we were when we typed that TM1 dot refund balance.